This model kit review is of the Calsonic Skyline GTR, the Nissan Skyline, and it is a 1/24 scale model by Tamiya, and we've got some pictures here, artwork showing the car, and there's it from the top, and another picture there. Let's have a look on the inside here. Got a number of sprues here to look at. So first of all, we're going to look at our body here. So the body is actually very well molded, good level of detail. There's a mold line, pretty thin, should be easy to get rid of. The rest of them don't really see any other mold lines, but very nicely molded and a good level of detail. Looks like we have some decals here for our tires. They might actually not be decals, but more where you'd like a transfer, you'd rub them on there. Let's have a look over here. So, not sure what these parts are for. We'll have to have a look and see if they're body parts. Here is our chassis, very nicely molded, good level of detail there with our wheel wells. Here is our engine and transmission with drive shaft. We've got some brakes with our these are disc brakes here. Got windshield wipers. Looks like a sway bar. Steering rack over there, some suspension parts. These are our doors, the inside panels. Here's the rear axle and the rest of the drive shaft. We've got some suspension parts here, and looks like that's probably part of our exhaust system there. So here's our front bumper with the splitter. It's very nicely molded. The plastic just feels very sturdy and strong. Here's our steering wheel, pretty parts for our tail there. Here's the tail or spoiler. We've got some probably radiator parts there. Air ducts. This is probably for a bigger wing here. Maybe the diffuser, we'll have to look and see what that's for. But everything is just very, very crisply molded. Some switches maybe for the central console. Here are our side mirrors. Really, really nicely molded. So over here we have our seat, typical racing, the bucket seat. We've got our dashboard. This looks like this is a right-hand drive. This must be part of the back. You can see some speakers there. And we've got parts of the roll cage here. That's all going to make up the roll cage. And another steering wheel there, stick shift, and our rear view mirror. There's our steering column there. Now these are our chrome parts, and they're very nicely molded. Here's our radiator. We've got our wheels here, another part of the radiator, and some other maybe engine parts, exhaust there. So over here we have some reflector strips, and this looks like this might be something for maybe the rear view mirror. It's not very shiny. Next we have our glass, so we've got our windshield, front and back, we've got side glass, and then headlight covers and lights. Over here we have our tires. These are fairly soft. We also have little pins for the axles, and then they're going to slide into those little nylon bits there. Over here we've got our decals, and maybe we even have some extra. There you go, there's some extra decals there. These are very nicely printed decals. Really, really good quality. Great quality. Okay, so here we have some details about the car. Right over there. Looks like we start off here with our rear suspension. Fair amount of detail there. Then we build our front suspension here around the engine. And then we put that into the chassis. The front and rear suspension. Lots of details here. Lots of painting as well. Next we've got our exhaust system going in. Put our wheels together there. And those are then mounted with some additional brackets to hold the transmission in. And then we start to build the top. This is the back of our inside of the cabin. We've got our radiator going in, and looks like maybe our intercooler there. Then we've got our roll cage being built there. Got our dashboard and seat. So there's only one seat. This is for a race car. And then we build the rest of the cockpit or cabin, and the rest of the roll cage going in there. And we have our glass going in, and front bumper with lights, and then our rear wing. It's quite a monster wing. And then we've got our other glass for the back, side mirrors, and we're mounting the wing, tail lights, and other body parts for the right side. And then this looks like this is called the front underguard, which is probably for our splitter in the front. And then we finally mount our chassis onto the body, and then there's the splitter there. So here we have the painting and decal guide. All over there. So, very detailed car. We've got some really good decals there. It's very well molded. This is a typical Tamiya quality car.